BagFuel, baby.
Oh man, I think people are a little bit nervous right now. They see a bunch of plaques.
Yeah, man.
Is it you trying to rap?
Nah, I'm not trying to rap. Jimmy. I'm not rapping, Jim Jones. I'm not doing it.
Okay, are we signing a multi-million-dollar deal?
Not yet. Not yet.
So why are we here? That's so, because
we finally got our first lawyer on this show, and we're here to bring you one of the superstar lawyers in this game.
Here we go.
He was almost my brother-in-law.
For real?
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Yeah, he used to date my sister.
Yeah.
I told you that.
Like, is there anybody you don't know? That's the new shit. Who SO don't know?
Right, exactly.
We got Bob Celestin on BagFuel today. Yo, this is
BagFuel. I've been waiting a long time to get on here, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy to be here. I'm happy to be here, Randy. Thank you.
He's talking shit.
And thank you, Heineken.
Of
you know
course.
what I'm saying?
I mean, you're a fellow Zoe, so I had to.
Ahí sim,
Ahí sim, sos
um
mío.
pouco nessa, não?
Tu lá,
Quero cá, cadê? Aí
yeah, see?
Zoe power, baby.
Y'all did.
Oh, man,
That's why
I
you
know
almost
that.
became your brother-in-law.
That's right, man. You know what I'm saying?
Association by affiliation.
Absolutely.
Here we go.
Damn, all right.
But finally, listen,
Yes.
man, we talk a lot about business. People tell their stories and all that too. But I always tell people the importance of having a lawyer on your team.
That's the number one thing you've always said.
I say, before your manager, and I'm a former manager, but
That's true.
being around legal people is how I actually learned the game and the terminologies and what the rates mean and how I collect and all these different type of things. And you know, clauses at the end of your contract, if they drop you, they give you $50,000, or you keep a piece of your budget. All these different type of things is what lawyers taught me about the discretionary funds. Nobody within the building was teaching me these things. And some people don't want to take time to learn them. But because I had went to school for law, I just didn't go past undergrad.
Yeah.
I knew the importance of legal work, and I knew how to read paperwork a little bit.
Right.
But it's an art form to read paperwork the way a lawyer. You know when a lot of these artists or hood dudes get paperwork?
All these paperwork right here.
They're like, I don't need a lawyer to read it. I'm like,
No, you need a lawyer to read it.
What's the art form of reading paperwork
Listen,
on a basic level?
I mean, look, first of all, RIF, reading is fundamental, right? There is, unfortunately, you know, a portion of our culture, hip hop culture in particular, that kind of devalues education, right? When I got into the game, it was like, oh, you're not hood enough, right? Because I was intelligent, right? I consider myself intelligent. I know how to write. I know how to read. I take value in that. You know, as Haitians, you know, education is very, very
Where'd
important.
you go to college at again?
I went to Yale University.
Okay.
So
your mother and father was hype, yo.
No question.
And he went to Columbia Law School.
Correct. You know what I'm saying? Like, all shout outs to HBCUs, but, you know, Ivy League brothers and sisters aren't getting no love, and we got to kind of change that. You know, although
y'all don't be out here lit like
come
that.
on, we out here, we be outside, we be outside.
It's very few to be outside. I'm just saying. But go ahead.
Yale got some black dudes.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, and sisters. You know what I mean? But now with this
And you can
affirmative
also
action,
articulate yourself. And
100%.
that offends hood people sometimes.
you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it does, and it shouldn't, right? And it's not. Sometimes I've gotten accused of, like, you think you better than. No, I know. I don't think I'm better than anything. You know what I mean? I'm like, I just happen to know a little bit more about this particular subject, right? And the way you express yourself and the way you articulate yourself is very, very important, right? And let's face it, you know, hip hop is its own culture, and by that means it has its own way of speaking. There's a way of being. So I know how to speak, quote unquote, hip hop, but you also need to speak when it's time to discuss business. There's a protocol. There's a particular language you need to be able to speak to articulate and get your ideas across, right? And even the way you write, you know, I mean, one of the things that's really troublesome to some degree is that when I do meet young people and they're writing an email to me, it's always, you know, they're trying to use the abbreviations and all this, and it's just, there's no period. Like there's no comma.
No semicolon.
Like, where does the sentence start and where does it end? And I've had to go and tell some of my younger clients, like, no, you have to send me this text again and put some periods and commas. Like, I know you know better. You learned about period and commas, and you learned that when you were in school. So this whole run-on sentence and all of this, that's not gonna work for me.
Were you worried, and how did you survive when you lost 3 of your big clients so close? You lost Pop Smoke, XXXTentacion, and Juice WRLD.
No, Juice WRLD's not my client.
Oh, he wasn't your client?
No. It was just X and Pop.
Okay, X
Those
and
are
Pop.
two of my
I
clients.
thought Juice WRLD was
I know the attorney for that.
But think about this: the drama with 6ix9ine, and
Yes.
the drama with the
6ix9ine's
baby.
attorney.
Yes, I still am.
Also, you're still 6ix9ine's attorney.
He's in DR somewhere. I haven't spoken to him in a minute.
Yeah, and you also are the baby's lawyer.
No, I'm not the baby's lawyers either.
Oh.
I represent producers.
Oh, producers for the baby.
So sometimes, like Jack Harlow, I don't represent Jack Harlow. I represent the producer that made that beat.
Made the
Got you.
record. All right, cool. So you had Tekashi.
Yes.
You had
Still does.
Yeah,
you have Tekashi.
Yes.
You had Pop.
Yes.
And you had XXXTentacion.
Yes. And designer and
You
a
had
bunch
designer.
of folks.
But those three, let's go. Tekashi, we know had a lot of paperwork coming through here.
A lot of
Pop
paperwork.
Smoke had paperwork
a lot of
coming
drama.
through here.
A lot of
XX.
drama.
Oh.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Yes. Pop, yes, definitely. And X probably had the most paperwork.
So how did you survive after losing these people?
I mean, emotionally, the situation
Both
with
emotionally and business-wise.
Business-wise, here's the funny thing. Like, X's, as well as Pop's, but really X's fans are die-hard fans to this day. His streaming statistics are still stable. Normally after, an artist passes, there's a spike when everybody's like interested. I think it was J. Cole that said on his latest record with Lil Durk, like, I think it was Lil Durk, where he says,
Don't post them if you may know them.
Exactly. Now you, so there's that curiosity factor. Who is this artist? So a lot of people didn't know who he was. They started, listening to his streams or his music, and the streams went up, right? Then after a period of time, that will usually decline. It's called the decay rate, right? So it's going up. His estate's stable, right? And so what my job is, to maintain, along with his mom, Cleopatra Bernard, shout out to her, credible woman. Also his manager, who still manages Solomon Sounds, shout out to him. By the way, it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Solomon. And together, our jobs have been to maintain his legacy. So we did a documentary, if you haven't seen it, it's on Hulu, it's called Look at Me. It's about the life and times of XXXTentacion. I'm one of the co-executive producers, actually one of the executive producers, and it was like my first foray into film. And we did a deal with Columbia Records, shout out to Ron Perry. We did a deal with Columbia Records to re-release his Sound Cloud records, his early SoundCloud records. So what does that mean? What's my job in doing?
You get paperwork, so you got to lock down the rates. You got to
find the producer that actually made the records back in the day. You got to contact them, and I have a number of wonderful attorneys that work for me. Alicia Faribault, Chris Wellington. These guys all work for me, and they're the ones that actually helping to put all that stuff together. Yeah. So you got to, when they were coming up, they just putting records out. They're making records, put records out, put records out. But record starts blowing. Now you still have to go back now when a major label wants to pick up the record. You got to go clear the record, right? So now you got to go find the producers, do a producer agreement with them, make sure that they're getting their percentage of the royalties, make sure they're getting their publishing. Then if there's a sample, you got to go clear that sample, right? And some sample owners are like denied the use. So now you got to be like, all right, now we got to redo the record because we got the lyrics. Now we got to go do it's an amazing thing. With X, we co-counsel his estate with another attorney, and our job was to help clear the albums, right? Yeah. So my firm's job, again, was to negotiate with the producers, side artists, the features, make sure that paperwork is correct. We're still dealing with that, even though his records have already been released. So in both instances, at least with X, the shock of like your client getting killed, I wasn't prepared for that. You know what I mean? Like, what? What do you got to be kidding me? We rushed down to Florida and there's a vigil going on where he passed. All the fans are there, and it's just an incredible thing to see. And the strength of his mom always impressed me. His mom was really, really strong and throughout this process. But it's like now, and luckily, ex and his mom had listened to me when I had told them about creating a trust. You know, we have these conversations about how do you protect your assets, right? He had things in his name. Take stuff out of your name, put them into an LLC, create a trust. And to my surprise, when he passed, that had been done. So having to deal with his assets, you know, who's gonna control the assets, all the paperwork was in place to make that happen, right? And that doesn't always happen. You hear about artists that pass without a will.
Yeah, I'm trying to get my father to do a trust, and he's just so worried. He never heard of it before.
Tell your father to call me. I'll have a conversation.
He's not listening at all. Like I paid for it and everything.
Yeah, you got to get him to do it.
And he just didn't. He's just like, I don't understand it. But go ahead.
I'll explain to him. You know, because the rule of thumb is this, and this is something that now as an attorney I never had to think about estate planning. Now that's not really my expertise, but now I have to have lawyers that do this and start talking to, especially if they have children.
Because rappers are getting shot.
Wow.
Right? I never had to, after you lose 2 clients,
so that's
and this is 2 robberies, by the way, right? There ain't no rap beef, it wasn't no, and that's the other thing, that's the narrative. Oh, they had enemies, nope. It was simply thievery. They were the victims of a robbery. In both instances, they didn't listen and they didn't protect themselves. You know, X thought he was regular. I'm just gonna drive. I'm like, bro, you got your hair's different. You driving a BM. You got, you know what I mean? Like, you driving around come on. And then with Pop, it was like, we told him, his management, his record company, get a hotel.
Never liked Airbnbs.
Gets on the phone, books an Airbnb.
Never liked them.
Right? Because people will tell you, oh, the label should have did something, the manager. He's a grown-ass man. Right? He ain't he's not 17 years, 15 years old. Get a hotel. Now I want a hotel, I'm gonna get Airbnb. Right? So now you start learning these things. So now when we talk to clients, and as much as I'm an attorney, I used to be a manager at a manager group called City High back in the day. I ran Uptown, I ran a couple of record labels. So I kind of bring 360 degrees of experience to my clients. I'm not just, all right, here's the paperwork, now let's talk about some real shit, right? You got kids? You got life insurance? Oh, man, nigga, you need to get some life insurance. I'll turn you on to somebody, a financial advisor, to help you get some life insurance. What assets you got? Good, you need to create a trust. Rule of thumb is wills are for poor and middle class people. Rich people use trusts, right? The difference is when you get a will and you pass, it's a matter of public knowledge, and you have to hire an attorney to probate the will. With a trust, it's private, it's a document, it tells you who gets what, you good. And it gives you much more asset protection,
keep your house, everything, your house be protected.
100%.
You got other monies that are protected, your lands be protected.
Correct.
That's why I'm
saying. So because of the, aggression of hip hop, no matter how old the artist is, you just feel like they should get the trust and life insurance.
Yeah, I start bringing that to their attention. Yeah, I start bringing that to their, like, I always have a saying, when I meet a client that has children, I say, okay, you got kids? So I don't even represent you anymore, I represent your kids. So here's what we gotta do, right? And I force them. Like sometimes you gotta force people to do things, you know what I mean? Like I'll give you an example with 6ix9ine. Like he didn't want to get a business manager. I literally had to go to Brooklyn, pick him up, we go in the car, we're gonna take you as business manager, right? It was, he's, oh man, no, we're doing that. And he got a business manager, right?
But these are the things that I try to explain to people about building a team. I said, you have to have your manager, you have to have your lawyer, you have to have your business manager once you start making money. Your business manager is thus your accountant. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
now there's a difference between a businessman and a financial
advisor. That's two totally different things. Yeah,
right.
That's 2 totally different things. But I'm talking about just at the beginning, at the core of what you need to start with when you're walking down these roads inside this music business. That I try to tell people is treacherous. And finding people that you can trust and finding people that actually know the job is very hard. Because everybody, look at all these platinum plaques he got. These are all different relationships. That's what I see.
Right.
I don't see platinum plaques. I see he had to talk to a lot of motherfuckers to get that one done. He had to talk to this one to get this one. So he's building relationships and a great rapport. So that's how I say that your lawyer can help to send you around as well. Lawyers, when I first got on, were key in getting your music around.
That was
It
back
really
in the
wasn't
day.
it really wasn't. The manager kinda hooked up with the lawyer,
right.
and the lawyer would then make calls. I remember Todd Rubenstein was my first lawyer, and
I know Todd very well.
And Todd sent me on meetings
Right.
at labels. Yo, I got this wonderful client in here. His manager is on point. Yo, take the meeting with him. Blase, blase, blah. I think people that's working their thing, and these young people that are just taking the records and putting it up on iTunes and Spotify, I don't think they understand the importance of building a team and how effective it is when you're trying to get more than just your music out there.
Correct.
Because you have to get your vibe out there. You have to build relationships. It's hard to build relationships. This man has had relationships for 20 years, so if he vibes with you, you're bypassing 20 years of work.
This is what you're doing. Looking at. That's very interesting.
This is what you're doing because you're gonna send your client and say, I got this wonderful client, yo, take this meeting at this label. If you know somebody that has a clothing company, yo, endorse the company because you know what he does then? He still has to get the paperwork. He's not cutting the manager's percentage off at that time neither.
Correct.
It creates revenue for the whole team.
But the one thing that you got to remember, again, times have changed. So I never wanted to be that lawyer or just that individual in the culture that's waxing nostalgic about the 90s. Oh, this is how shit used to be. Oh, this is how shit used to be, blah, 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 right? Like, here's a good example of I have to make sure I stay on top of what's going on. That's why BagFuel is important because you guys are on relevant. They know y'all know what's going on today. I got to listen to you because this is where I stay on point. I don't want to be like, I don't know about this. Well, who's so like, nigga, you out the game.
You out
right?
the game fast.
Right? So as an attorney, I'm 64. I have to stay relevant, not only to what's happening from a legal perspective, but also what's happening from the culture, right? I can't be divorced from the culture. So yes, I am outside, right? I'll go to events, I'll go to these different things, where that's probably why my ass ain't married, ain't got no kids, right? But, because I'm outside, right? Because this is what I love to do, right?
He outside.
I'm outside. But I'll give you a good example from a contractual point of view, right? I just finished negotiating a recording agreement, and this definition of an album should be 10 songs, right? It had 40 minutes in running time. Now, of course, we know kids will put more than 10 songs on there, right? But let's just say you were putting 10 songs. 40 minutes, 10 divided by 40 means that every song is 4 minutes.
Yeah.
Nigga, ain't nobody doing no 4-minute songs. So I gotta get on the phone. No. Because that's how you get tricked up. 40 minutes it should be really 25 minutes. Because songs these days is 2 million, 2 minutes, 2.5.
The most.
Right? That's the most.
Yeah.
Oh no, you wrong. It's like, I said, listen, you got a CD around, or not even CD. Just go on Spotify and look. This artist is on your label. Look the artist up. Tell me how long is the running time.
Would that be the reason why Chris Brown was giving all those double CDs with like 30, 40 songs just to get out of his album deal to now he's giving like 2 to 3 albums in one project?
It
could be many reasons.
It could be that.
It could be many reasons why he wants to do that. He could be doing
It's right here.
Chris Brown, okay, 1 million sold over.
Right.
He could be doing what Drake did. You see how Drake did all those albums? He had a 5-album deal. Everybody's like, why is he putting out so many albums? He put the 5-album deal. He got done. Boom. Now I'm getting more money directly.
Right. Now he has a licensing
from
deal
Lucid.
with Universal.
Exactly.
Right.
So now I'm direct, and now he's working to get out his deal with Lucid now. Because now he can be the biggest independent artist of all time, or get the biggest bag.
Well, here's the thing. Okay, so when he was with Young Money, right? Young Money owned the masters, right? He'd fulfilled his commitment to Wayne. Wayne had a deal with Universal. Everything's great.
Clean.
Now he owns his own masters, because you look at the rate. So OVO, licensed to Universal, right? So what does that mean? It's like, I own the masters. I'm going to license to you. You'll get a percentage of the income.
Yeah.
Right? 20% maybe, right? You're going to give me money, right, to market and promote, right? You recoup your money, you're going to give me a ridiculous back, some ridiculous amount of money you're going to give me. Why? Because you're going to stream. Now, from a guy like Drake's perspective, the more records he puts out, the more streaming revenue comes in. But there's also another thing. Every label is competing with the other labels for what's known as market share.
Yeah.
Right? at the end of the year, the label that has the most records that have
They get a
been
bonus,
charted,
right?
these executives,
They
and
get a
I
bonus.
represent some of these executives. They get
The
a nice
bonus is
bonus at the
big.
end
The
of the
bonus is
year.
huge.
What kind of bonus we talking about?
You know what I'm
Rough
saying?
estimate.
Like,
Some
six figures to 7
yeah,
figures.
6 to 7 figures.
100%.
This is a big market share. See, that's the back end of the business. I'll be trying
That's
to
the
explain.
BagFuel.
Yeah,
That's the
exactly.
BagFuel.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
the BagFuel of the business. But I'll be
Right.
trying to explain this to people, and they be thinking, yo, this can't be real. When I'm explaining
wanna
to
believe
them,
it.
and I'm like, yo, this is really what this is about. It's not about your creativity.
That's a fact.
It's about this
That is a
business.
fact.
The business is what they use. They're using the creativity to facilitate their business.
That's correct.
If people like dancing and dancing on camera and tap dancing and they could put that on record, they would put tap dancers right on record and sell that motherfucker.
And you bring
They
up
don't-
another good point. You know, how many times have we heard, I listen to these Instagram, whatever, oh, the record label is forcing, you know, a certain kind of music. Like, they're the ones behind gangster rap. They wanna go and promote gangster rap. Or now, like the sexy rap stuff, they're promoting sexy rap. They're trying to destroy us. I'm like, no, they're not. Record labels are amoral, which means that
They don't give a fuck.
They don't. Right. There's not right or wrong. Like Randy said, if you were making records and you just doing tap dancing sounds
And
on
it
a record,
works,
and it works, they're gonna promote that
They're gonna
shit.
promote that motherfucker.
Why are we blaming them? Because you know,
The public is consuming it.
But Bob, they feel like, see, it's twofold. When you haven't been in this business, and I'm coming from the side of when you first met me when I was a kid,
Right.
and I drove all my talent up, and you were with Burt Padell and all the
Right.
other type
Damn,
of shit. This is what people don't understand.
Right.
It's been a long
We've
time.
been doing this for a minute.
I didn't understand the business then.
Right.
I thought it was creative.
Right.
Okay? So when we coming up, and at that time, the executives were not telling you the difference.
Right.
The knowledge was not being given and it wasn't known.
It's not their job.
So you had, see
their
what I'm
job to give
saying?
you- they're not-
Now,
it's not
it's
their
not
job to
their
tell you about
job
the
to
game.
explain this to me. This is for me to figure this out.
Right.
So I'm driving back and forth, and I'm like, yo, and then one day, I'm at Murder Inc., and I'm looking at all this money fly through and this shit, and I'm like, this shit ain't got nothing to do with creative. Because I'm watching deals get done that we know, people do deals that we know is never gonna happen. It's just a way to exchange money. Okay? I fuck with you. I want your artist, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna really give your artist, I want Bob, for real. I'm gonna give him a deal. You, I don't want you, but you're still gonna get 300,000.
Right.
All right, because you're Bob's man,
Right.
and I gotta please him, and that's the manager, and we gotta make it look like we really fucking with y'all.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But you're a write-off, homeboy, from
Right.
the beginning. You know what I'm saying? So then when you sit there and you learning this shit, you seeing this shit, I said, this shit not about
But
the
I
artist.
think the confusing part, right? We see how the marketing and the business, there's a line of deliberateness to get to the money and how we can not manipulate, but make it look larger than life.
Manipulate.
Yeah, but so now the audience is like, if TikTok can control numbers, the labels can put a lot of marketing and revenue, are they really force feeding it? Versus where Bob just said the audience is really consuming it and the labels like, we turning the faucet on, we see there's a spark there. And they can't differentiate the two. That's what I see.
Because both of those happen.
Yes, I agree.
That's not, see, people get it twisted. Everybody think it's
They're having
one
a
way.
confusion with that.
Both of these ways happen. Look at this. When Mobb Deep hit, I always go back to this. When Mobb Deep hit, niggas was smoking weed. It was a different time mentally.
Yeah.
All right?
Wu-Tang, all that
So
stuff.
so Wu-Tang, so that style of music was resonating. Other people was doing other rap records.
Right.
That was trash that nobody liked.
Right.
Because it wasn't resonating at that time. So if I'm paying attention as a businessman, this is what's resonating. Like the white boy went and got Wu-Tang. Remember when the other people didn't understand it, but the white boy understood it?
Right.
And he kept pushing the envelope, because this is what's resonating.
Right.
I'm gonna put my money behind this. If niggas is poor and street shit and niggas is scamming and they doing drugs and niggas is drilling in the kids, niggas gonna say,
That's where
if this drilling shit is
put the
marketable,
budget on it.
if it's marketable, I'm gonna put money behind it. That's what
That's
a
the
lot of
American
people
way.
dictate, and then other
the American
people,
way.
then they copycat. See, the copycat is where the public gets lost at.
Right.
Because the one person is doing it, then the copycats come behind it
Right.
and sign it, and then they say they're pushing the agenda.
Correct.
I mean, success has a whole bunch of sons, and you know, failure's a bastard. No one's gonna claim it.
That's true.
You understand? Once something's successful, even a girlfriend from 30 years ago, oh, because I rubbed his back, that gave him the, you know, inspiration to be a success. They're gonna claim your success, you know what I mean? And with the music industry, Bob just said, streaming market share. We're in a competition. Oh, XXX is moving. Let me get Juice WRLD that's kind of similar. I'm just giving an example. I don't want to disrespect them.
Right.
So I can get the other market share and override it.
Yeah, and put money back.
Yeah.
But that's
Strategy.
strategy. Now, as a lawyer, we know people are scared of lawyers.
Yeah.
Lawyers
ain't
have
gotta be
been
scared of me.
But people have said that
Especially in hip-hop.
lawyers have guided them into bad deals, forced them to sign things.
Caesar just said that.
And they didn't even know. What's something that, if I'm young and I'm trying to find a lawyer, what are good characteristics of a good lawyer? What are the characteristics of a good lawyer?
First of all, you know, obviously some kind of experience, right? Like, you know, when I was coming up, right, as a young attorney, I didn't have that much experience. But what I did was I connected myself with attorneys that had more experience than me,
Okay.
right? So I always have, if it was a new deal, I'm like, all right. And I will tell my clients, yo, just got out of law school, whatever.
That didn't scare him?
No, because I was cheap.
Okay.
Right?
Niggas
See,
love a
now I was
discount.
cheap, right? I was
Niggas love a discount.
I'm gonna be co-counsel with this other attorney. You know what I mean? Whether it's Louise West or somebody with some of my mentors, to make sure we give you the best opportunity, right? The other thing is when you're with your attorney, it could be any professional. They have to make it a point to try to make sure you understand what, as best as possible, what is going on, right? I get pushback from some clients, right? I'll say, you know, a couple of clients, I have them sit right here. You're sitting right next to me, we're gonna look through this contract. Oh man, how much is the money? I just wanna sign. No, I wanna go through this with you. Now, are you gonna remember everything I said? Probably not. But what you're not gonna say is, Bob just made me sign an agreement, he didn't even go over it with me. We're gonna go over it, I'm gonna try to break it down and say, this is what this means, right? This is your obligation. This is what the label is going to do. This is how much they're going to pay you. Do you understand? Like do you understand? So a lot of times I've had clients come to me and say, wow, no one's ever really sat down and explained this to me before. Because I don't consider people stupid. They just don't know, right? So if you're willing so one of the characteristics you want is to make sure that whoever you're trying to hire has enough respect for you to sit down with you and explain something. Like, you shouldn't feel stupid to ask a question. Oh, I don't want to ask this question because I might be stupid. No. Ask the question. And it's not my job to make you feel stupid. It's my job to be patient and explain to you, this is what it is. Do you sure you understand it? I've had people repeat what I just said. I said, repeat what I just said, right? Because my job as an attorney is to teach you the business of music, the legal and business of music, right? Had a client the other day, right? This is yesterday. He gets on the phone with me and I'm like, yo, did you do a producer agreement between you and the producer? Oh no, I gotta talk to my manager. No. I said, no. You're supposed to know whether or not there was a producer agreement drafted with your previous attorney between you and the producer. I'm not saying you're gonna know all the terms, but what he was quick to do is, let my manager handle that. That's dangerous. A lot of time the client, I'm gonna let the manager or I'm gonna let the lawyer handle it. Then something goes wrong, and now you blaming everybody. But did you? And sometimes
and they quick to say, I didn't want that. And how will we know what you want?
Correct. Right? So you can't not ask questions.
I got a question.
Yes.
Who authorizes, and I've been in the business for a long time, this is no fake question, this is real. Who authorizes the deals? Now, meaning that a lawyer
Who approves the deals?
Okay, no. Now I'm getting it.
Okay.
When you first get your first paperwork, say I'm going to sign him to Universal. We know we're going to get multiple drafts.
So first thing you do is get a deal memo.
Okay. what's the guidelines? Okay, we can still have a deal memo and
Yes.
the paperwork come over and it be fucked up, right? What's the guidelines of giving somebody a fucked up deal? Does Lucien say, don't give him everything, see, or whatever, or treat him good, give him a better deal? What are the guidelines? Why do some people get paperwork and the deal looks good and we gotta adjust a couple things, and some people get trashed? Where's this coming from the top?
Number one in this business today, this is the number one word you gotta remember. You ready? Starts with an L. Leverage. My job in terms of the deal I can get you is the amount of leverage I have. If you bring me leverage.
But who makes that decision? So the lawyer cares? The lawyer who's supposedly, so are the lawyers at the label getting points on the deals that they're doing?
No.
So, because why would they care about the leverage? Somebody got to tell them.
Because
let me tell you what the leverage is. Here's leverage.
I understand.
My competitor wants you. Not only does my competitor, when I did a deal for designer, 12 labels called me. Oh my God, we were having fun. Ooh, I was having fun.
He's a Haitian for real.
Oh my God.
Oh man,
Everybody, Leo, everybody's my friend. Hey, what's going on? Hey Bob, I heard you fucking with designer. Got this on Panda. We want to do something with you. I'm like, this is how much. This is the number. Oh, well, if we give you this number, can we do the deal with us? I gotta give it back to my client. Hang up the phone.
The
Next person going like, yo,
the numbers
let's
up.
say it was, let's say the deal was 1.5. Yo, I just talked to your competitor.
1.7.
No, it's 2 million.
He's Haitian,
It's
bro.
2 million.
I know his math.
It's 2 million.
It's gonna go by 0.5. Next one, 2.5.
It's a bidding war. The best scenario
Designer was a cash cow, but he
is
came out of
a
nowhere.
bidding war, right? That's the leverage.
I even got a platinum record off of Designer for
Right,
money.
right.
Shit.
It's the leverage, right? Because they're competing with each other. Listen, I've gone to folks that I know, I'm like, listen, I got this artist, he's bubbling. She's cheap right now. Meaning the deal's not gonna be that expensive. Now we'll wait. To me, you wait. You don't want, we'll overpay.
Yeah,
Market share. And remember, the other thing to remember.
We gotta wait to see if the record's gonna move for the market
But
share.
also, these are all publicly traded companies. Like you could own stock in Universal. The more market share, the higher the price of the shares. And also, as an executive, not only are you getting a bonus, you get stock options. The better the company does on the stocks,
The more
and I
money
play
you
stock,
get.
I understand that game. Spotify right now, if you own Spotify right now, you'd be up right now if you own the shares. Spotify just showed a profit. They made a ridiculous amount of money. The owner sold, what's the guy's name who owns Spotify? Daniel Ek. He just sold $100 million worth of his shares. And then that was 2 weeks ago. Then just sold another $60 million worth of his shares. $160 million in 2 weeks. Because he owns shares. The stock went up. I'm selling my shit.
It's hot.
You got to understand the game. And here's another thing people don't know. The record labels have a percentage. They have equity.
In Spotify.
In Spotify,
30%.
Amazon, I forget the amount, but Amazon,
Universal has 30%.
Tidal, all that.
Thank you.
Understand the game.
Because
because
they've been saying that.
Because we had a clip that came out
with Arsonist.
Yeah, and he explains how y'all not really independent because you putting your music on and you're making money for the major record label because they own major pieces in Spotify.
And they were like, "No, you're a
all of
liar."
These platforms because they want Yo, this is the thing that I don't get. Everybody, this new wave is like, I'm against the record label. I'm against the record label, right?
Why?
The machine.
All you people you see here, Drake signed to him, it does deal with major label.
Everybody that
Beyonce,
they love. Yo,
what are you talking about?
90% of the people that they love are on record labels.
How about 99%? You got Russ and maybe Chance the Rapper. And even Russ at one point did a deal with a major label.
For some reason, this is the wave to crack the code for some reason, but I keep explaining to these older people and these younger people that music business is a money game. Until you understand that it's a money game and it's a business first, you're gonna have a hard time in this business. If you understand the business, all the big wigs that y'all love, the Drakes, the Jay-Z's, the Beyoncé's, the Futures, and it goes on and on. All those people
Gucci Man, Yo
Nicki
Gotti,
Minaj, they all
Ice
understand
Spice.
the business. Period. Once you grasp the business, then you understand why a hit record is a hit record. What they're doing to make it a hit record. What you need to negotiate in your paperwork to make it and keep it a hit record. The discretionary fund you have to have,
Please.
and the people with
Tell 'em, Randy.
the radio guys that you have to contract. These are the people who keep you on top. If people like Trey Songz had a discretionary fund, no matter what would be going on with him, he would have money to pay people to do what he needs to get done all the time.
I think, no, I'm gonna keep it real short with this one. The issue is when I talk with Esso and I talk with Bob, you can understand reality quickly. Whatever you thought your perception was, when you find out what's behind the real wall, it doesn't fuck with you. There's some people they just can't recover. They don't want to believe they were manipulated. They don't want to believe that their feelings and emotions were swayed by marketing dollars or a team of sophisticated people that, push your emotions in that direction. Whereas the people that make it are the ones that are like, all right, man, I got played, but I'm ready to play this game.
You didn't get played. Marketing is about exposing you to a talent and giving you the opportunity to like it. If I think that you're going to like it, I want you to hear it and see it as much as possible.
And that's one of the things major labels give you. That's the thing.
I agree with that one.
That like when I talk to clients, they always major labels. Yes, major labels are companies, and if they have the edge on you, they're going to make sure that they look out for your best interest. That's what my job is, to help you get your best. And as you become more successful, what do you have? You have
renegotiation power.
You go back and you renegotiate. And they want to be in business with you. So they're very open to opening up their pocketbooks and the whole nine. Even if they're taking listen, if I got to take a lesser percentage, 20% of 100 million, I'll take that.
Yeah,
right?
They will.
So
they will do that.
So the labels aren't necessarily the enemy. Have there been bad practices in the past? Of course.
It's bad practices right now.
Of course. But ultimately, if you want to become a superstar, you got to fuck with a major label in some form or fashion. They control all of the major distribution, and they have the marketing not only domestically,
Records owns all the magazines.
Internationally. Internationally. So why are you, what's the issue? Oh, I don't want to do 360. I got a client, I don't want to do a 360 agreement. I said, first of all, first and foremost, there's ways to get around when they will ultimately take a percentage. You could say in your agreement, hey, you know what? I want a shelter for on tour money, first $500,000 that comes in, I keep. Anything over 500, you take your 10%.
They don't 50%. Know that. But they don't know about a shelter.
But you so worried about the 360, my 360, whatever. Like, bro.
It's all about negotiation and what you put in your deal memo and your paperwork.
They're so afraid.
They don't have the knowledge, though.
No, because it's been told they're yanking everything from all these places. And I'm sitting here like, you come in with nothing. You can negotiate how many years, they can take a percentage, and back to what you said, leverage. A lot of artists are like, fuck 360, fuck 360. I'm like, that might be the best thing you ever signed in your life.
Do you know how much, people don't even know how much work it is to book your artist dates, to set up a tour, to set up merch, to set up the publications, to put the right money behind the social media, to send you to travel. Yo, one travel run, the Grammys, BET Awards, Hip Hop Awards, Heart, whatever, and
Super Bowl,
Super Bowl and All-Star. These are 8 to 10 places that you have to, if you're really trying to make a splash as one individual out your own pocket, you gotta spend at least $5,000 to $10,000 in each spot to begin to make your mark as one person if you're trying to get out there. So it's a lot of money that has to be spent to make you a star, but the problem with these people is they don't get to see it. I always told him, I said, marketing and promo is tricky because you don't see it. It's in the air.
Yeah, right.
Okay, so you get to see some billboards sometimes, but you don't understand the back.
You don't get to feel it like that.
You don't get to feel it, and you're not in the back office talks with Puma like, listen, we're going to pay him $5,000 to do the thing, but I need his motherfucking face everywhere, okay, for the $5,000. Because you're in the universal music business, okay? So I need him to be doing this. He's thinking about himself in $5,000, but it's a bigger picture for me.
Right.
And here go,
but-
and then we move on.
But all that
You
is
wake
true.
up on the billboards like, oh wow, all this for $5,000.
Here's the issue that I see people having. You got artists, and we've been seeing this for years. I'm independent, right? Cool. That sells the whole story. You did it on your own. You got it out the gutter. When they find out that the marketing dollars was all behind it, they start feeling away. Now, that's why when you hear certain
They
rappers,
don't find out
no,
until it's too late.
yeah, but they're still gonna feel away. This is why there's issues now. This is why there's issues with a 360 deal. This is why they're saying, I don't want to go to a major, because they believed all this bullshit.
But
I'm
can
just
I- but
telling
there's
you
a
what
lot of- there's a lot of misinformation
Can I tell you the
online.
people?
I agree.
Can I tell you the people that say that they don't want to go to the major? The
dirty.
ones that majors don't want.
Yeah.
Facts.
Woo.
Thank you, Randy. Facts.
If they wanted you and they slapped that 7 down there, them 7 zeros down there,
It's a
you're gonna
fact.
say, I thought I didn't want the major,
Right.
but I love y'all.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Come on,
Exactly.
and where we going? And I'm staying in the what? The Ritz-Carlton? I never stayed there before. And I'm going to dig this a whole nother thing. And you're going to say the label's the greatest.
Exactly.
How do you, because, Essa had asked you before, but like even with 6ix9ine, he's locked up somewhere in another country. Like, how do you deal with that?
Well, when he was going through what he was going through here in the U.S., like, the trial stuff and that, like, I had to basically, he had a criminal attorney, I had to kind of work with the criminal attorney.
Wow.
I had to go see him and in prison and stuff like that. I mean, at the end of the day, people say, why you stick with him? I'm like, first of all, if you know him, he's not a bad guy, number one. If you know him personally, he ain't a bad dude at all, right?
Mm-hmm.
He's an incredibly, incredibly intelligent marketing person. Like, he knows how to, he understands his fans, he understands what moves the needle, and he's really, really good at it, right? But once you retain me as your attorney, right, I have a fiduciary obligation to look out for your best interests. And I'm gonna do that, right? Until you tell me you don't want me to.
But but him and DR has nothing to do with his musical paperwork.
Correct. And it has nothing to do with me at this
So you don't go far and beyond the Call of Duty? Because I saw you walking some niggas out of jail. I saw when Rowdy Rebel came out.
Yeah.
You was out there walking around. Was you out there walking Rowdy out of jail?
No.
Or Bobby, wasn't you there? Don't you got Bobby Smurder too or something like that?
No. You might have seen me with.
Who'd you come out of jail with?
6ix9ine was one.
Okay, 6ix9ine was one.
Went out of jail.
But I thought you came out of jail with another motherfucker too.
Man,
Just
please,
6ix9ine?
I don't want too many. Listen, one is enough. One is enough. Please, one is enough.
So you might not be able to tell me this, but is 6ix9ine really still getting paperwork in here, really making money?
The answer to that would be yes.
Where's his money? Well, I mean,
The Latin market.
He's in the Latin
killing,
market
he's
now.
killing the Latin market.
In the Latin market?
Bombing it. Yeah,
Yo.
He's probably making
half,
more money.
He's half Mexican. I mean, he's Mexican descent. So him pivoting and doing Spanish music made sense.
He's damn near with the cartels, bro.
I don't know about all that, but I will tell you, his streaming numbers are phenomenal. Like, there's a lot of, and he's not getting no radio play. Like, that's the other thing about this business that's different. Like, there's a lot of artists getting paper that you're not gonna hear on the radio.
But is that why these people are saying that they want to be quote unquote independent? But I always say this to a lot of these people. I be like, that a lot of these independent people that y'all looking at, they were once on the radio and had significant radio play to build their fan base to then take it back over and say, I don't want to go over there no more. Y'all really rock with me, come see me here.
100%.
But you need the exposure and you need the
100%.
marketing. I just feel like
100%.
nobody wants to pay for nothing. The only thing that I know that people are willing to pay for in this business is their lawyer.
Weed and clothes.
And sometimes they don't want to pay us.
Yeah, but y'all get y'all shit directly right in the paper.
Damn right.
Yeah.
Damn right.
Because
I ain't waiting on your clients to be trying to pay me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You've had so many encounters where it's dealing with the streets, corporate world, legal world. Has anybody, even from a street level, try to
extort you?
No, put you in a position to go against your attorney-client privilege?
Never. So I have a lot of street clients, right?
Mm-hmm.
My job, my philosophy is my job is to get you from the streets into the suites, right? That's my job, right? And what I find with street clients, quote unquote street clients, I mean, 99% of the rappers come from the street anyway, but the ones that have been doing some work, whatever, they don't come to me with any of that shit. Like, yo, here's what I need to do. I know they on the street when they give me a band of money, literally cash, right? And they haven't, oh, how much oh, okay. All right, cool. I give them a receipt, okay?
Yeah.
And as long as they're not telling me to hold nothing, right? Though, you want to hold this thing? No, we good, right? And the thing is, treat them with respect, right? Because my thing is like, you're trying to change your life. You're trying to, I see you trying to move from whatever you're doing on the streets, you're trying to move out of that. My job is to help you do that, right? Give you the best advice possible. You know, there's been a couple of times when I've talked to some clients and they've been a little upset and they want to like, yo, I'm gonna go see. Don't go see nobody. Don't go up to nobody's office. We're not doing that. This is not the way you play that game. If you really got a dispute, we're gonna hire a lawyer and sue him. You know, you're not rolling up in nobody's office. We're not. Those days are over, right? And you know, I find that they've been usually the most loyal clients, right? They've always held me down. You know. Make sure I don't have to worry about trying to argue with getting paid. You know, it's just a matter of treating it with respect. I mean, even way back when, I will tell you a funny story. So Guy, the group Guy, with Teddy Riley's group, may he rest in peace, his name is Gene Griffin, right? He was a street dude. He was
We
their
had
manager.
Big Bob on the show, so we talked about Gene.
Right, so he was a street dude, right? And he had an issue with Andre Harrell, may he rest in peace, right? That was my former boss. And I remember speaking to him, I said, yo, man, I call him, he don't call me back, which was true, right? He called me, I pick up the phone. So it got so bad that at one point, Gene, you know, saw Andre and kind of like, you know, ruffle him up a little bit. And we had like, yo, chill. And from that point forward, I was the point person to talk anything Guy. Bob Celestin was the one. Come to the studio. You know what I mean? And I tell you, I remember we went to the studio one time, and me and Gene are talking, and Guy, Teddy, and Aaron, and they joking in the background. And Gene looked at him and said, "Shut up! Can't you see I'm talking?" Silence. Like this was the respect that he had. Like these days, these artists, man, be running like they don't want to listen. Right? Back then, the right person tell you shut the fuck up, you gonna shut the fuck up.
But the game was totally different back then.
Very, very different.
It was very, very different. And what people are gonna be shocked by me saying is that I actually think it was better back then for multiple reasons. Although it was a lot of thuggery stuff going on, but the business itself, black people was coming up. And that goes to my question. You was at Uptown Records because you bought Dre up before. You was there with Kurt Willie, you was there with Andre, you was there with Puffy.
Yes, I was.
You was there with all the acts and everything.
That's my old school wall right there. That's the Uptown wall.
Yeah. What made that environment so great, and why did so many of y'all? It spawned a lot of people. Chuck Bones from there. It spawned a whole lot of people that have done a lot of legendary things in this game. And the number one dude is Puff Daddy.
Correct. Well, you know, me coming to Uptown, it was sort of like 360, because when I went to Yale, right, the very first day on campus, upperclassmen took me and my other classmates and said, hey, listen, don't think you got into Yale because of your SATs and your grades in high school. You got here because niggas protested, buildings got burned in New Haven, so I got in at 1977 when I went to college. You got in here because a lot of people, you know, protested, died to get Yale to open up the doors for you. Your job is to come here, learn what you can about how the system works, and go help your people. Right? I'm 18 years old. This was the mindset, right? I'm already Haitian already, so you know how we get there. Like, you know, we did shit. You know, we were the first black country to kick the white man out of our country by force of arms. Right? From the time I was this year, my mother and father always tell me that. You Haitian, can't no white man, no black man ever stop you from doing what you want to do. So that's what I already got that mindset. And now these brothers are saying, yo, come here, learn what you can, and go help your people. Cool. Go to law school, come out. My first job was at a corporate law firm, did that for 2.5 years. My first music job was Arista Records in their legal department for a year. Met Andre. Andre said, yo, man, come rock with me, right? I can't pay you that much, but this is what I'm doing. And I was like, if you know anything about Andre, he was a great salesperson. You know, he would sell you, like you see the vision, like this was gonna be whatever, whatever. So he started taking me around. I remember he took me to see Heavy D in the recording studio. First time I ever been in a recording studio. Now I was a DJ in college.
Your brother's a DJ too.
He got that from me, right? He got all my old records. I was a DJ in college. You see my watch, I don't know if you see my watch. What's it's the turntable, baby? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, there you go.
Come on, you know what I mean? And then the interesting thing about when I was at Yale also, so I was a DJ and I took a course on black culture, ironically taught by a white professor. And the premise of the course was that American culture is created by or very heavily influenced by black people. I'm coming home during the summer, hip hop is in its infancy. I'm going up to the Bronx, Club Who Does It Good, Hollywood, Club 371. I'm like, you know, my mom and dad like, you can't, don't go up there.
Because you're from Brooklyn, right?
Yeah, Brooklyn.
Oh man, it's different.
They're like, don't go there.
Don't go
You
there.
know, don't go to Harlem. Don't go. I'm going anyway. That was my form of rebellion. I'm going, right, boom, right. I don't want you going there, nigga American, blah, 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 blah. Went there anyway. And now I got this information about, oh shit, we creating something. Like, I couldn't have told you back then that 50 years later it's gonna be what it is today. That would be a lie.
Yeah.
But armed with this, that's why I always say education is important. Armed with this information and how it was broken down, how you come from Africa, the drum and all this and probably, I was like, yo, I don't know what this is, but I want to get involved with it. It was exciting, right? Now I meet Andre. He said, come work with me. Cool. The second thing he did, he started showing me around. Took me to LL Cool J's first video. Oh, not, I'm Bad.
Yeah.
That's
Right.
the second
I mean,
album.
that's an iconic
The second
video.
album.
Right. So that
The
was
first
that was
video
the first
for the
video.
second album.
Right. So first time I ever seen the video. And I met him, you know, he's cool, he got the Kango, he was so nice, hey man, welcome to the game, you were the good guy, whatever. Met Russell, whatever. That's this, I'm like, wow. So I'm in a recording studio with Heavy D when he's working on his album. I'd never been in a recording studio before. So I went from a DJ playing people's music to seeing how it was being created. Then I go to this video. So my eyes are like this, wide open. So now, what was interesting about Uptown, like now, what I learned, you know, what was, if you want brainwashing to me at Yale, I'm actually living it now. I'm gonna work with a company that's run by black people. So I'm taking this information, this corporate information from a corporate law firm. Like I had to help put a whole operating agreement and a corporate policy. What time you gotta come in, what time, how much time do you have for lunch? I had to do all of that stuff. I had to literally do all that because niggas was coming when they wanted to come in. Only people who had leeway to come late was A&Rs, right? If you in A&R, you in studio, of course you ain't coming in at, at 10 o'clock, right? These are things I had to do, right? At the same time, I'm in the studio with Jodeci. I'm in the studio with I remember when I was in the studio with the producers that produced Real Love with Mary J. Blige. So my eyes is like this, like, oh my God, I'm seeing this full circle. So
Corey and Mark Morales.
Yeah, Corey and Mark Morales. Damn, you know your shit, bro.
Corey was on our. Corey is one of my mentors. He gave me my first
I was
job.
in there when they were making that record, right? So I said, the environment was, everybody was trying to come up. Nobody knew anything. We really didn't know anything, right?
Wild Wild West.
It was kind of the Wild Wild West. I mean, Andre had finished 2 or 3 years at Lehman. I think he finished it. He may or may not have finished it, but he was not an uneducated person, right? So the environment, and it was a situation where you had a chance to like grow in a way. It wasn't like you only could do this, you only could do that. It's like, yo, get in where you fit in. Like here was your main thing, but get in where you fit in.
Kurt Willie said the same thing about it.
Yeah. And so at the end of the day, that's one of the reasons why I feel like I'm the attorney that I am because Uptown really gave me a start, right? I was the vice president, general manager, and I was, the Uptown was still represented by a major law firm called Grubman and Dursky and Schindler, which still exists to this day, right? So I continued my legal education that I started in the music business at Arista there. And they trained me. They really did a good job of training me. I used to always joke and say, I'm the black attorney y'all never had, because I would be in their offices, right? I did the day-to-day legal work, did the contracts between Uptown and Mary, these different artists, whatever. Met Puff. Puff was an intern. Like to this day, he was an intern when I was there, and he was the hardest intern ever. Like, there's nothing. I need you to go get this car. Here's my credit card. Go rent this car. come back. He's sweating. Why you sweating? I want to get here as quick as possible. I know you need the car. Go to the studio and pick up these reels. Come back running. Like, to this day, I will say, I have not, and I was an intern when I was at law school. I interned at WBLS. That dude earned his success because no one worked as hard as Puff did. In terms of like, there's nothing you could ask him to do, he wasn't gonna do it. He gave you 150%. So it's hard for me these days when I get interns or whatever, and they like, oh, I gotta get paid, or I have to have a certain amount. Like, fuck out of here, I'm not fucking with you, right? Like, you gotta go and do, like, show me you wanna do this shit, right? So all this to say is that environment, and hip hop was fresh. You know, the labels they didn't really understand it. Like when Heavy D's first album came out, he sold 700,000, and they're like, well, we didn't even really market this shit yet, right? The labels were like, we don't even understand this, right? And here's another example. The second week, I'm at Uptown. Andre says to me, yo, you got a passport? I said, yeah, I got a passport. Okay, good. It was Monday. He said, on Wednesday, you going to London with Heavy D. Heavy D and the Boy. Went to London with Heavy D and the Boy. I was a road manager, right? So even though I was an attorney, whatever, that's it. And I wasn't arguing. I'm like, road man? I'm like, okay.
Now, people always laugh. I jump in, and people always laugh because I always tell people, being in the music business teaches you how to deal with every other business because music attracts everything, and then the music business makes you have to have multiple jobs.
Correct.
You're not just a manager.
Correct.
You are A&R. You are an accountant.
You a psychologist.
You a psychologist. You are an advisor. You are a babysitter. You are a best friend. You are the liaison to the lawyer.
Yep.
You are the liaison to the business accountant.
You ain't lying.
Now the business accountant is the one, he's telling you everything,
right.
and you have to learn it to regurgitate it to your
right.
client. Because if he goes out and spends money, he's not calling the client. He's calling me like, yo, did you talk to your client?
Right. Exactly.
Did you explain to him the ramifications of how he's spending the money and all the rest of that? So while you're there, if you're really paying attention, you're learning about every aspect of business and life.
100%.
That's the thing that separates people. That's why music business niggas go on to Nike and they flourish at Nike. Because they be like, yo, Leo at YouTube. You know why? Because I'm going to go to Nike and everybody loves music, right? And I got these great relationships. I have lawyers. I know rappers. I know this and that. I'm going to bring them there. And that's my marketing and promo.
Right.
Period.
And
it all goes back to marketing and promoting your product. And the other big thing that I think that people might not have realized that everything that Bob spoke about was relationships.
Yes.
That's what takes you way far. Like everybody says it, but when young people are coming into this game, young or old, inexperienced people come into this game, they don't value relationships, nor do they understand how to build them. You
gotta be open. You gotta listen. But also, there's a lot of scammers out here too. There's a lot of folks trying to sell dreams. You know what I mean? Like that are manipulating. See, it used to be the concern was it's the record labels, taking advantage of the artists. Okay, and as an attorney, I was always sensitive to that. These days, when I'm looking at on the internet, I'm hearing these artists talk, and I'm hearing whatever. There's a lot of misinformation going on, right? You got folks coming talking about, oh, I'm gonna get you a record deal, or I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. There's this scam, and I'm gonna talk about this next year. I'm gonna start doing a little bit of what you're doing, where kids are getting these contracts. They'll get somebody that hit them on the DM. Oh, I'm so and so from Universal Records. Like your shit. I want to sign you a contract, and they're believing it.
Yeah.
Now, to some of their credit, they'll call me. They book a consultation. Hey, Bob, Universal Records, Shady Records hit me up. And I'm like, all right, let me see your statistics. Well, you only got 1,000 people on Instagram. You got, what's your streaming? You only stream 10, you got 5 records to stream 10,000.
What's the purpose? They trying to get them for money?
Yes.
So how are they gonna get some money? They're asking them to pay?
No, niggas,
Yes.
they'll be like, yo, send this forward, send an advance forward so we can get your legal paperwork going. Send us like $500.
Yo.
Then we'll have you in a meeting. Then we're gonna pay for your plane ticket to fly up here.
Yep.
This shit's been going on for like 10 years.
Yep.
Y'all gotta do better.
Yep.
Nigga, this is old school shit, bro.
I need
y'all
you
gotta do
to
way
do
better.
something about this because again,
I can tell you all the scams, bro.
And artists are getting scammed, and they're coming back, and they're like, they
That's
have
Patreon.
this, and like you said, they don't understand the business. I'm like, you got 1,000 Instagram followers
Out of nowhere.
and you think Shady Records is calling you?
How about this? You wanna know how ill the
Really?
scam is? Yo, I get DMs all the time when one of my videos or our videos go up. Yo, I'm loving your work. Your music is inspirational.
Yeah, I don't even do music. Yeah, I just
That's the
ignore
thing.
them.
That's where it starts
I
from.
got you.
And
It's the same scam.
what does it say? What did it say after that?
We don't reply back.
No, it just says, hey, if you want to be part of the record label, send this advance money forward. So
Do me a favor. Next time you get that, send that to
I'm
me.
gonna send it to you.
It's another one too with podcasters that they don't know about that. They want to take. Oh, we built the site to stream.
They tried to get me. I sent it to him. I was like, this don't look real.
It's not real.
What's a money commandment that artists and people should live by to keep money in their pocket?
Man, listen, man. Spend less than you fucking make, number one, right? That's the easiest fucking commandment, right? Spend less than you fucking make. Like, I don't know, it can't get no easier than that. You know what I'm saying? Like
take
the
it.
way my mom and dad are Haitian. My mother used to always say,
they're cheap.
My mother would say, that's what they say, but my mother always say, get what you need, not always what you want, right? Because they'll get you want. Oh, you get that Rolex, get that Bentley, get all this, get all that, get all this. Well, when you get stuff like this, a lot of times, most of the time, for our people in particular, our self-esteem, generally speaking, is so low. So we have a little success. I got the Rollie, I got this, whatever. Who we project to let the outside world know, look, I'm somebody. I got a certain amount of success. Look at me. Now, again, the way I was raised, I was already lit. I'm already somebody, right? Because that's where parenting comes in. I already have confidence. So I don't gotta go, I used to have these debates at Uptown, like, you need to get a new car. I'm like, why do I need to get a new, what's wrong with the car I got? You're gonna get more girls. I'm like, bro, what makes you think the girls that are gonna be attracted to me because of the car is just girls I wanna get with? They didn't understand, like, Bob, how come you don't, I don't need that shit. I know who I am, right? So when you get, and I try to counsel your clients, you get money, you gotta pay your taxes at some point. So let's put that away. I even have to negotiate deals with this in mind. I gotta put a certain portion of this advance is trick money. Like I already am about to say, okay, you know what? I gotta factor in you gonna trick. No matter what I say, you're gonna go get a chain, you're gonna do all those things, to let everybody know you made it.
Rapper equipment.
I got rapper equipment. So now I gotta, then I might say something like, okay, well.
What's the legal definition you write in the paperwork?
No, it's in my, when I'm negotiating, I'm talking to the managers, I'm like, all right, we got $100,000 coming in, $250,000. At least we gotta put $25,000 aside for trick. They're gonna trick this money.
Does it say that in the paperwork?
No.
No.
This is what I'm talking about. But here's what I'll do. I'll say $25,000 upon execution. The other 75, we're gonna break it down into monthly, like 12 monthly installments.
Understood.
To try to help, I'm not, because if I give you all of it,
You gonna spend it on.
in 3 months, in a month.
That's even hard because when we was getting our money, I was like, no, I got to have all my shit. And I remember because the singer or the rapper gets mad because everybody else was getting all their shit.
Right.
Bob's getting all his shit.
Right.
The manager's getting all his shit.
Right.
And this nigga looking like, why everybody getting all 800 and 200,000 and I'm getting 25,000 and 15,000 every month
Exactly.
for 12 months.
Because we're trying to save your ass, okay?
Duh.
We're trying to save your ass.
Duh.
You know what I'm saying?
You not writing nothing off, bro.
I'm trying to
doing
save
the right
your ass,
thing.
okay?
You know what I'm saying?
So but the smart artist will say, okay, I got some money coming in. I know I got to take care of my little bills, whatever. I got my little trick money. But I'm going to save a chunk of this money to kind of reinvest in myself.
They don't never do that.
Right?
No.
Kanye did that. Like when
He's the
Kanye
only
first got
one.
on.
What do you do?
No, some of you are. Well, he got an advance.
When I say only, I mean
He took that money and used that money to hire a radio. See, people don't know this. And in his
radio
documentary, he didn't even say
guy.
that. So through The Wire, like, you remember, Jay-Z and
They
Damon
didn't
believe in
believe
it.
in him.
It was like, oh, yeah, he's going to produce it, whatever. So what he did was, he took some of his money, he hired a radio promotion person to work the record in Atlanta.
Yeah,
I know this for a fact.
this is true.
Through the Wire started blowing up in Atlanta. So the promoters are calling up Jay-Z and, yo, we love this Kanye record. They're like, Kanye, he got a record out? And then they had no choice but to chase it. He also used his own money to shoot his own video.
Yes, he did.
Right, they talk about, and it's a documentary, they talk about the video, they talk about the record.
Cootie and Chike.
Right.
That's how he got them involved.
With the
because
documentary and all
they
that.
They were new video guys, and one of them, I knew one of them, they was at MTV, they were interning and working.
Right.
And that's how they all got together, and they got Cootie and Chike to just be his guys.
Right. Now, I'll
You know what I'm
negotiate a discretionary fund, as you were saying, but even then, you gotta be like, yeah, I got my discretionary fund, but I'm gonna put a little bit of money on. If you smart, the man, like, we're gonna put some of this money aside to just supplement in case we need to get somebody with the streaming or whatever.
In case we need some help that the label's not gonna give you.
Right.
Most of the times, everybody, the label jumps in to help you when they see you moving.
Correct.
You gotta make movement.
Correct.
Cash Money's Cash Money because they was moving
Correct.
before they signed a deal.
Correct.
Master P was moving. Puffy was using Uptown to move his own needle, so when Clive Davis gave him his money, they was ready.
Right.
Ludacris the same way. He was on the radio, Shaka used Def Jam. Got fired from Def Jam, and then Def Jam had to bring him back.
Even
'Cause it
Drake's
made
first
sense.
record, Best I Ever Had.
Yes.
Remember, he got with these managers, they spent money and put his record on the radio.
Yeah.
Here come the bidding war.
You gotta expose yourself. Promotion and marketing is
It's the key. Without that,
Tell them how they can find you, Bob, because I know we don't got. Tell them how they can find you on
hit me up
Instagram.
on the gram at Bob Celestin, BobCelestin. I'm a Zoe. I'm proud of it. You can go to my website, www.raclawfirm.com. And if you can't get through that way, hit up my man Esso and Heineken. They got all my info, and they gonna make sure you good. Because what they gonna do is screen you. See, what y'all gonna do is screen them for me. Because if they bullshit,
Listen, y'all
don't
know
send
I
them my way.
charge a fee for everything, so you know I'm not fronting. And I gotta do this read. Yo, shout out to Sweet Chick on Ludlow. Treats us very well. I feel like that they got the best Sweet Chick food out of all the Sweet Chick restaurants.
Come on, man, it's sweet. There's a Sweet
So
Chicks right
check
here on
them out
Flatbush
on
Avenue,
Lolo.
right around the corner from my house.
But the one at Ludlow is better. Check the one Ludlow out. That's where we be at.
Shout out
Please
to
believe
Nas.
it. Shout out to
Salute to
Nas.
Nas here, Jones.
Shout out to the whole team at Sweet Chick.
Boom.
BagFuel, we out of here.
Peace.